went to Oslo a few years ago, and I went to pay, and the woman in the supermarket just pressed a button, and the cashier get low to my level, and I could pay, and then I cried. You know, I was like, it's the kind of experience, and it's like how far we are. Why you don't have this on the supermarkets here in UK? I'm not going to mention names because they don't pay me for that. But you know, why you don't have here on the T, on the S, on the, you know, like why? So it's just technology could make the experiences. And it's all about experience, you know. If you don't have a nice experience, you can go to the shop, be all accessible. But that guy that was working there was a pain. Didn't you didn't have a nice feeling, a friendly face or something. You don't come back. So it's about the technology. Is there to help for us to have a nice experience, but it's all about, I think, the human being, the heart to heart, to be nice to each other. I think this is the main thing. The technology never is going to overtake that.
I think it's not about picking one technology or the other. It's not even really about the technology. The technology that we're living in just now is the kind of massive pace of change that we're almost unable to keep up with. And so the kind of culture of human experience is unable to navigate actually where and what technology is going to be able to do. And it's got to come down to the human condition and the human and the space for allowing us to remember that we are human and we aren't technology. Because actually that kind of blurring the kind of space between those is becoming increasingly kind of hypothetically enticing, but it's not something that I think at the moment we should get carried away with.
In terms of in the art world, buying and selling art, the technology has completely changed the landscape for the buyer and also the artist selling. If you were buying art, it used to be, you know, say 50 years ago, you had to go to a gallery, you had to find out where those paintings were, you had to, maybe have photos sent to you. Now you literally just open Instagram and you can see everything that you need. And that's been pretty liberating for the artist as well, because you're not relying on whether a gallery wants to take your work or not. You know, everything is out there. So it's really positive in that way. But having said that, I think it is still very important for galleries to have a physical space, because if you're buying a piece of art, you want to know about the texture, you want to know about the true colour, and I think in digital images, it can be deceptive, so you don't really get the sense of those things. So yeah, I think as yet it's still needed, both things.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that the primary thing that tech gives us in terms of creativity is the time to be creative. We are all creative people, even if we don't think we are, and it's a symptom of an established, sophisticated society that there's a lot more creativity. We judge sort of our societies by the kind of the culture and the arts that they bring to bear, and it's no surprise that kind of in a hunter-gatherer society there isn't as much creativity because everyone's busy staying alive. It's pretty unlikely that any of us are going to be to starve to death or be eaten by a wild animal. We've got the luxury of the time to be creative, come up with all sorts of interesting, amazing things, ways of doing things, and ways of living that generations before us didn't have the opportunity.
So in terms of where I think technology will take us, one of the projects I worked on last year, butterflies are a big thing for me. I love them because A, they're dismissed, B, they're dying out, and I really don't want to live in a world without butterflies. So one of the pieces I made was turned into an augmented reality piece where literally your hands would open and all these butterflies would fly out. And it was lovely to see people interacting with that, because in the real world they may not be able to do that, but in an augmented reality setting they could. The hardware wasn't up to it yet. The sort of the whole experiment was quite successful. It's got some way to go, but I see AR and VR, as long as it's tempered, it does have to be tempered. I have a 21-year-old son who obviously grew up with PlayStation. It's okay to have tech as long as you say, right, put it down, it's dinner time. It's okay to have tech as long as you have times where you've got no phones, as long as you... So it's a brilliant tool, but we need to have the discussions about the ethics, the why, the how do we make the world better with it? Sorry, I'm not on my soapbox.
That's great.